Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, I am here to show you the weirdest looking metal energy you have ever seen. It's stone fighting energy. Yeah, this one might take a little bit of explanation. Now, I joke about it being a metal energy because, and I should say our translation here comes from the lovely Antoine Boulet, one of our very favourites. We love Antoine, go Antoine, woo, etc. It's shield energy. It is literally shield energy, but for fighting Pokemon. Now, what Pokemon are doing at the moment is they are giving us all of these new types of special energy. We've seen probably the best of them is speed energy. It's a lightning energy, attach it to a lightning Pokemon, draw 2 cards. Or horror energy, it's a psychic energy, attach it to a psychic Pokemon, and you place 2 damage counters on an attacking Pokemon when you're damaged. This is the fighting one, and it is literally shield energy, except to be fair, it is double shield energy. Now, if it is attached to a fighting Pokemon, that Pokemon takes 20 less damage from your opponent's Pokemon's attacks. Cool. Unlike the older special energies, this will count as a fighting energy when attached to a non-fighting Pokemon, and it will not be discarded if attached to a non-fighting Pokemon, but you only get the 20 damage reduction when it is attached to a non-fighting Pokemon. This is weird. Fighting Pokemon are supposed to be the super offensive ones. If you want another example, how about just metal energy? For those of you newer to the game, when metal Pokemon debuted in Neo Genesis, there was no basic metal energy. The only metal energy you were actually allowed to use was special, and it reduced damage done to it by 10. And then of course shield energy came around as pretty much just a reprint of the original metal energy. So when I joke about this being a metal energy, this is not me just being like, oh man, that would go better on metal Pokemon. I'm going, no. This has been the hallmark of metal Pokemon since Neo Genesis came around in 1999, or the year 2000 outside of Japan. So for 20 years, the whole damage reduction energy thing has been for metal Pokemon, and now it's for fighting Pokemon. And let's be clear here, right? Fighting Pokemon have their own thing. It's adding damage. Diancie Prism Star adds damage. Martial Arts Dojo adds damage. Fighting Stadium adds damage. If you go back a little bit, we had Regirock that adds damage. That's what fighting Pokemon do. But having said that, we did have Focus Band a little while ago, or Focus Sash, I should say. And Focus Sash, when attached to a fighting Pokemon, let it survive with 10 HP remaining. And then, of course, you remember that fighting Pokemon in the TCG also include Rock and Ground in the video game, and you go, okay, fine, maybe. Thematically, it does make sense, but as someone who's been playing this game for a long time, this makes me feel a little bit uneasy, and I'm not sure I'm okay with it. Is it a good card? Yes. It is, in fact, very, very similar to the fire energy that we're getting, which is heat fire energy. Now, the difference is that heat fire energy gives an extra 20 HP, whereas this reduces damage done by 20. And most of the time, stone fighting energy is better. The time when it's not is essentially special conditions and damage counters. So if you're facing down a Dragapult V Max and you're sitting on the bench, you don't want stone fighting energy, because the damage counters being dropped will just completely ignore stone fighting energy, but you do want heat fire energy, which will give you an extra 20 HP. Similarly, special conditions, I don't know, let's say your opponent's rocking a Garbodor Toxicroak combination, poisoning you every turn and making the poison do an extra 20 damage, then or an extra 2 damage counters between turns, I should say, then yes, you want heat fire energy, because that extra HP will help, whereas a damage reduction won't. But you guys know as well as I do that generally speaking, when you play in the TCG, damage is more relevant than poison, damage counters, etc. So I do think as a general rule this is better than heat fire energy. Of course, it is interesting to note that last time we got these kind of energy cards, we got strong energy, which did do extra damage, and now we've actually got powerful colorless energy, which is that, but for colourless Pokemon. And actually, while we're still here, let's not forget the format at the moment looks like it's going to be very focused around Pokemon like Vikavolt, like Pikachu and Zekrom, like Eternatus V Max, that are weak to fighting. So we do want some damage buffs. We want to be able to do more damage so that we can secure these KOs on these key Pokemon. But having said that, you could make the same argument the other way round. Pokemon that are fighting type need to be able to survive a little bit longer so that we can get to the stage where we're actually getting off an attack. And in that regard, it does a similar kind of thing. If you can be alive, if you can be on the field, if you can be rolling for one extra turn, then that gives you one extra attack, and one extra attack is definitely better than an extra 20 damage as a one-off thing. So I do get that entirely. And the fact of the matter is, we're going to need good fighting Pokemon coming up in the upcoming format. Fighting Pokemon are going to be very, very important to take out all of these fighting weak Pokemon, so giving them a little bit of a buff, giving them some extra tricks is a very good thing. And you could end up with some key numbers. I mean, if you've been following this channel, you'll know that I love me some Excadrill. Excadrill is a phenomenal Pokemon that I absolutely adore, and it just so happens that the Excadrill from Cosmic Eclipse is phenomenal in a format where there's a bunch of Pokemon weak to fighting. For a single energy, it does 120 damage, and you discard the top 4 cards of your deck. So down goes a Pikachu and Zekrom, down goes a Vikavolt, and Eternatus VMAX isn't technically KO'd yet, but if you use a Martial Arts Dojo when you're behind on prizes, and a Vitality Band, then you go up to 117, you will get a KO. And I know you've got to add in a Stadium and a Tool, but you're getting a one-hit KO for free prizes. It's really not that much to ask. Now, Excadrill has 140 HP. And you'll notice that Pikachu and Zekrom's full blitz attack does 150, which means all of a sudden Pikachu and Zekrom are getting a one-hit KO on Excadrill, until you pop a single one of these on. And as soon as you pop a single one of these on, they're doing 130. Which means they're not getting a KO. And don't even talk to me about Electro Power, because when the rotation hits, Electro Power is gone. Sure, Pikachu and Zekrom can use the aforementioned Vitality Band, and then they will get an extra KO. They'll be doing 160, which is lowered to 140. But they've got to have the Vitality Band now, or they don't get a KO. And if you're playing a Lightning deck and you're not one-hit KO an Excadrill, it's over the second Excadrill hits the field. Vikavolt is Seismitoad, but it does 50 damage rather than 30. It blocks items, but you're only doing 50 damage. So one of these energy and you're doing 30, which means that's a 5-hit KO on an Excadrill. 2 of these and you're doing 10, which is a 14-hit KO on Excadrill. And if Excadrill can actually get 3 of these on, then even if Vikavolt whacks on a Vitality Band, they still do no damage. Now, they do have an attack that does 190, but if you've got 3 of these energy on, that 190 actually becomes 130 and doesn't even get a KO, and does open you up to using item cards again. And that's kind of where we're going with this. Something like Excadrill being able to avoid key KOs is absolutely huge. But there are other Pokemon. Take something like Stonejourner. Stonejourner seems like a nice candidate for this. Stonejourner's first attack for 1 fighting energy does 40 damage, and during your next turn you take 20 less damage. Well, with one of these attacked you then take 40 less damage. And with 2 of them attached, you take 60 less damage, and so on and so forth. Then you add in a little bit of healing, and you remember that Stonejourner V Max's attack lets you attach an energy while healing 120, and maybe you do just have a Pokemon that's not getting KO'd. Worth pointing out that something like Stone Fighting Energy only counts as a fighting energy when in play. It will not be attached using something like Stonejourner V Max's attack. You just can't do that. This could be an energy that helps you avoid key numbers and key KOs in some matchups, but it's also one of those energy where why not? I mean, maybe you're really scared of something like Giratina coming around and getting rid of your energy. Maybe there's a Pokemon along the lines of a Alolan Persian that has immunity to Pokemon with special energy attached, and is actually weak to fighting, so watch that one. But outside of that, why not? Like, if you're playing 9 fighting energy, why not 4 of these and 5 regular? If you see an Alolan Persian, or you know your opponent's playing an Alolan Persian, just wait an extra turn to pick up a regular fighting energy, it will be worth it. Even if they do get rid of your special energy, and they are generally easier to get rid of, you still should be able to get an attack off before they do. And then you might go through the entire game and it does nothing. It doesn't save you from a KO. Or it just might. And that's kind of my point here. This probably becomes an instant 4 of in any fighting deck, unless you're absolutely terrified of something along the lines of an Alolan Persian. It's a really, really good card. I don't like it as much as I would like it if it was strong energy, and thematically it does make me feel a little bit weird. But the fact of the matter is, this is going to save you from being KO'd. This is going to give you extra turns. This is going to turn matchups even more into your favor, or maybe just into your favor, because the fact of the matter is, there are a bunch of Pokemon out there that are going to try and take advantage, and they're just not going to be able to. It's a 5 Wossie card. No, I don't like it as much as I would like it if it was a different card, which we could say about like any card ever, but the fact of the matter is, I see this as an instant 4 of in every fighting deck. And any card where you can say it is an instant 4 of in every deck of a particular type, how could I not give that 5 Wossies? This is a phenomenal card. It makes me feel weird on my insides, but it is a phenomenal card. And it is going to really, really help some matchups. And in a format we're moving into where fighting decks are going to be more important than they have been for a long time, this is one trick they are going to absolutely adore. But I'd like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.